The afternoon sun filtered gently through the tall trees of the city park, casting soft golden shadows along the walking path. Laughter echoed faintly in the distance, mixed with the rustle of leaves and the distant hum of traffic. It was one of those peaceful American afternoons where time seemed to slow, where strangers crossed paths without knowing their lives were about to change. On a green wooden bench sat a man in a crisp Marine Corps dress uniform. His posture was straight, disciplined, yet his eyes carried a calm kindness that years of service had carved into him. Beside him lay a golden retriever service dog, resting its head on the bench, eyes alert but gentle. The patch on the dog's vest read, "Service Dog, Veteran Support." The man softly stroked the dog's head, lost in thought. Just a few feet away, a little girl approached. She couldn't have been more than 7 years old. Her brown hair fell loosely over her shoulders, and her bright eyes sparkled with curiosity. She walked carefully on crutches, one small leg supported by a prosthetic limb wrapped in pink and purple coverings. Each step took effort, but she moved with determination, the kind that only children who've faced hardship truly understand. Her parents trailed behind at a respectful distance, letting her explore the world on her own terms. The girl stopped in front of the bench. She looked at the man, then at the dog, and then back at the man again. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly. The Marine looked up, surprised, then smiled warmly. "Yes, sweetheart." She pointed to the dog. "Is he your best friend?" The Marine chuckled lightly. "He sure is. His name is Buddy." Buddy's tail thumped gently against the bench, as if he understood he was being talked about. The girl smiled. "I have to walk with help too," she said, lifting one crutch slightly. "But I'm getting stronger." The Marine's smile faded into something deeper, respect. "That's amazing," he said. "You're very brave." The girl frowned slightly. "My mom says I'm not brave. She says I'm just not giving up." The Marine felt something tighten in his chest. He had heard those words before, in hospital rooms, in physical therapy centers, and whispered to himself during long nights after returning home from war. "I think not giving up is the bravest thing there is," he said. The girl stepped closer. "Were you in the army?" "I was a Marine," he replied proudly. Her eyes widened. "Like a hero?" He shook his head gently. "No, just someone who served." She thought for a moment, then said, "My uncle served too. He didn't come back the same." The Marine nodded slowly. "A lot of us don't." There was a silence between them, not awkward, but understanding. The girl looked at Buddy. "Did he help you?" "Yes," the Marine said, his voice quieter now. "When I couldn't sleep, when loud noises scared me, when I felt alone, Buddy stayed." The girl reached out carefully and touched Buddy's ear. Buddy didn't move, just looked at her with patient eyes. "I wish I had a buddy," she whispered. The Marine glanced at her prosthetic leg. "You already do," he said. "It's inside you." Her parents watched from afar, tears forming in her mother's eyes. "You know," the Marine continued, "I once thought my life was over when I got hurt. I thought I'd never feel normal again." The girl looked up. "What changed?" He smiled. "I met people who reminded me that being different doesn't mean being broken." The girl's face lit up. She straightened her shoulders, adjusted her crutches, and stood a little taller. "Can I be a Marine one day?" she asked. The Marine swallowed hard. "You can be anything," he said. "A Marine, a doctor, a leader, or someone who changes the world just by being kind." She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, folded paper. She handed it to him. It was a crayon drawing. A soldier, a dog, and a little girl with crutches standing under an American flag. "I draw when I'm sad," she said. "You can have it." The Marine accepted it with trembling hands. "This is the greatest gift I've ever received," he said, before leaving. The girl did something unexpected. She raised her crutch slightly, as straight as she could. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't formal, but it was a salute. The Marine stood up instantly, heels together, hands snapping to his brow in a perfect salute back. People nearby stopped walking. Some removed their hats. Others wiped tears. In that quiet park, a wounded child and a wounded veteran honored each other, not for what they had lost, but for what they had survived. As the girl walked away, Buddy barked softly. The Marine sat back down, holding the drawing close. For the first time in a long time, his heart felt lighter, because sometimes healing doesn't come from medicine. It comes from a moment, a smile, and a reminder that strength looks different on everyone.